Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and since it's Women's History Month, I'm here today to talk to you about m.y.o.b. Season 1, Episode 1, The Bad Seed. m.y.o.b. stands for Mind Your Own Business. This show came out in 2000, and it only lasted for that of 4 episodes on NBC. It was a sitcom, and only 9 episodes were made, technically 8, and the ninth being the unaired pilot. But like I said before, it only lasted for 4 episodes. There's no explanation as to why it only lasted 4 episodes. Probably because of low ratings. I don't know, because I don't know what the ratings were, because I can't find them online. However, one of the lead actresses, Lauren Graham, supposedly she was already contracted to that of Gilmore Girls that only premiered a few months right after this this series. So either it had low ratings, it got canceled, and then she got on Gilmore Girls, or she was already contracted, and so this show would have just been like a waste of time anyway. And as we all know, Gilmore Girls lasted for that of 7 seasons. This show stars that of Lauren Graham and that of Catherine Towney. And Catherine does an amazing job in this. I really like Catherine. She's really cool. Her character is really in your face, and Lauren, like always, does a great job. However, I will say one thing: I've never seen Gilmore Girls, but I have seen Lauren in the Mighty Ducks reboot that just got canceled after 2 seasons. And you know what I've noticed? She always plays the same type of character. She's a really sweet, kind-hearted, goody-goody two-shoes who does not have her life all together, but has a really impressive job and strives to be better than who she is. That's like everything she plays in. So she is ultimately typecast and everything. And so originally, the roles were supposed to go to Nikki Aycott and Elizabeth Perkins. And I think Nikki was supposed to play the younger one, and Elizabeth was supposed to play the older one. And so Nikki sadly passed away last year due to cancer and everything. May she rest in peace. I remember I saw her in an episode of Dark Angel, and a lot of people know her from Supernatural. And so m.y.o.b, it wasn't that bad of a show, but it is forgotten. And, I really enjoyed the first episode. I remember I saw the second episode. I wasn't as impressed as I was with the first, but I stuck with the show until it ended. However, I don't even remember what the last 3 episodes were even about. I think the second one, she gets a love interest, and there's some character that turns out to be gay or something like that. And that's all I remember about the second, third, and fourth episode. But this show revolved around a young girl who is 16, whose name is Raleigh, played by Catherine. And she is looking for her mother. And she's a very outspoken, very blunt, very sharp, street smart girl, very savvy and everything. What's interesting is she narrates throughout the entire episode, and she knows for a fact she is in a television show. How meta is that? And so it revolves around her trying to track down her mom, and that of hanging out with her aunt, played by Lauren Graham, who is named Opal. So basically, in this episode, we have Raleigh, and she's narrating, and she's at an airport, and she's trying to get to, I think it's called Gossip, California, which is funny because Lauren was on a show called Gossip Girls. And so she's trying to get there, and of course she has no money, and she has no means, no ride, so she has to do whatever she has to do. And so as she's walking through the airport, there's an older guy who's checking her out, checking out her backside. So being the type of person that she is, she uses her feminine wiles to get what she wants, but she never puts out. So she allows him to drive her to a hotel, gets room service. He's in the shower, getting ready to get busy soon. But she's hoping that, room service will come before he's out the shower. As she's eating, because she hasn't eaten in a good while, he comes out the shower and starts filling her up. So, not wanting to put out and everything, she takes the toothpick to the sandwich and shoves it up his shillelagh. He's in pain and she gets out the way. Then she hitchhikes with a farmer who has chickens in the back to the school that she's trying to find Opal at. When she arrives at the school, because she's 16 and has bags on her, she can blend right in as a student. However, the principal even assumes she's a student. And so when the principal, he's spazzing out for some reason. And he's all like, you don't have a hall pass and all this other stuff. And so she's trying to explain, look, man, I'm just trying to find my mom and everything. And so he has a heart attack. He's overweight. And so because of this, his personal assistant and his vice principal comes rushing in. The vice principal is that of Opal. Opal wants to know what happened, what are you doing here? And she's explaining, oh, he was passed out when I got here and everything. But then she knows that she's lying because she blurted out something before that. So Opal is on to her, but not sure what's really going on with it. So they give him CPR and everything, but he dies. And so because of that, Riley goes to the restroom. She's smoking in there, and Opal smells the cigarette smoke. And so they start to talk and everything. And this is when Opal does her goody goody two shoes start thing. But then Riley explains to her, hey, you might be my aunt and everything. And I'm looking for my mom, Pearl and everything. Of course, Opal does not want to believe she is her aunt, does not want to believe that her sister fostered a child and gave her up for adoption. So, but Opal is the type of person who's nice enough to let her stay with her because she's trying to get brownie points from the personal assistant, a guy she has a crush on and stuff like that. And so Opal is spazzing out and everything, trying to figure out, who this girl is and all this. Riley can tell that, Opal does not want her there because as soon as she heard that, oh, you might be my aunt, she's trying to get rid of her. And so the next day, Opal has to take her to school with her because she don't want to leave her home with all her stuff and Riley might steal it. So of course Riley's just there as kind of like Opal's personal assistant, but she also enrolls her into the school. And so we get to see some of the supporting cast, two guys. One's an idiot, and one's trying to teach him how to use the computer. And so the news is on about who's gonna replace the principal. Opal thinks it's her because she is the vice president, not president, but vice principal, and she's qualified. But she does not get picked. The personal assistant dude does. And the superintendent turns out to be the creep from the hotel on the news. And so Opal is pissed and everything. And because, she's a female and she's not getting nowhere in her life and she's very qualified, but she's overlooked because she's female. And so because of this, she resigns and stuff. And so at some point in time when they're back at Opal's place, Riley decides, you know what? I'm going to help Opal out. And so Riley's going to help out. And so she goes to the superintendent's wife's home. And she tells the wife, give this to your husband, the toothpick. He'll know exactly what this means. And then she faxed out some papers of the receipt from the hotel. And so she took it to him like off camera. So he burst through like, the door as like Opal's about to like resign, and it's all like, I don't know how you did it or where you found this girl at, but whatever, you get the job and everything. But Opal's being like an idiot. She's all like, no, I want you to give me this job because I'm qualified, and I want you to tell me I'm qualified. And so he's like, fine, whatever, you're like perfect and all this other stuff. So instead of like thanking Raleigh and everything for getting her the job, she lectures her like, like a guardian would and everything, because she's the goody goody two shoes type. And so she's all like, just like giving it to her. So this is the type of person that Opal is. Opal, even, she got the job that she wanted, she's still not satisfied because of how she got it and stuff. But anyway, it's her and like, Raleigh are back at their home. She gives her like an email that Pearl sent her and stuff, saying that I never had like a kid and this person's conning you and stuff like that. So Raleigh is upset because she has nowhere to go. Her adoptive mother blew her died when she was like 4 from like a criminal act and everything, so she has nobody. So of course it sets up that whole thing where Opal just takes her in and lets her stay with her, and Opal kind of feels bad and kind of wants to be like a mother figure to her, because that's the kind of person she is. But then Opal also does not believe that Pearl is telling the truth, and she might be lying. So if the show would have lasted, we would have figured out if indeed they're really related or not. And so it always left off on that big cliffhanger we never really knew. And so, yeah, this show was pretty fascinating. It was pretty funny and everything, and I really enjoyed it. And I was so happy it did not have a laugh track. And so, like, it was like a comedy, but it was a sitcom, but it was a comedy in a kind of like a drama kind of way and stuff. And I really wish it could have played out. I really wanted to know if they was really related or not. And because it's really interesting, you have this goody goody two shoes who's the parental figure, and then you have this savvy smart mouth like teen and everything who helps people out even if she doesn't want to or not. And it was a different kind of format back then, like she's narrating the whole thing and she realizes she's in a TV show. It's kind of like a Saved by the Bell, Zach Morris type thing, So I really do wonder what it would have been like if it would have like succeeded. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.